how to make your bag clip keyring with a horse head. You will need to get your horsehair, probably at least 20 to 30 centimetres. This one you can do with mane hair if you've only got mane hair. If you've only got the end of a tail, you can use that, or just a nice thick piece of tail hair. Whatever you want to use, you can pretty much use for this. It's not as important to have your tail hair that you would do for your bracelets. Okay, so for this one you want to make sure that you've got enough thickness for your key clip, because you will need to put your hair inside this piece here. One way to do that is using a peg, which I like to use to hold things. Means I can do it without needing a third hand. So you've got your hole there, which is where your horsehair is going to go into. Grab your hair, roughly how much you think you might need. I will actually start with this whole lot here. Give it a tight twist together like that. Hold it up to that horse head end. So that is actually probably just perfect for how much I'm going to need. Try and hold it up a bit closer to the camera. So if you hold it, twist it, and put it up against your cord end like that, you can see there's just enough room either side, which by the time you put your thread around your horsehair and your super glue, will be plenty then to push it in. Otherwise, if this is too thick and it's the exact same width as that, you won't be able to fit it in. Okay. So we've got our horsehair, we've got the right thickness. All we need now is to take some cotton thread and wrap it around a few times. So a couple of centimetres down from the end. Wrap your cotton thread around several times. Then tie a knot in it. Go. Take some super glue. What you want to do is you want to put your super glue onto the cotton thread like so, as well as onto some of the horsehair beyond the end there like that. And the excess string cotton thread that you've got, you can wrap that around a few more times into the glue, nice and tight like that. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut the excess hair that you're not going to need. You can do that either with some scissors or with a sharp knife, craft knife. Please be aware if you are using a craft knife to be really careful with it, as I did actually have an accident with it just the other day and it wasn't pretty. First one in 25 years, but there you go, it can still happen. So if you take your hair, hold the bit that you're going to cut off, either with your good scissors, cut just beyond the tied off bit, or use your knife. Oops, a bit more than that. Use your cutting board and cut your extra bits off. There we go. Move that to the side. Once you've cut that, take a bit more super glue and put it into the cut ends into there just to hold it together, because when you tied it off and put your glue around to the outside, the super glue wouldn't have reached in. And if you don't do this, once you've finished your keyring and you start sort of pulling on some of the bits down here, you will find that they start coming out. Okay, so once we've done that, double check that it fits in. Yep. Now if it were to be a bit loose, you can add a bit more thread on and a bit more super glue again. In this case we've got plenty there, so we'll put more super glue just on the outside here, a nice big dab on there, and then push it into the head as far as we can and let it dry. There we go. So that's that part done. Now the lovely thing with this keyring bag clip is you can also, in this case, as you can see, it's quite long. So what you can actually do is you can leave it longer and use it as a rear vision mirror clip. You can hang it up in, above your dresser mirror, in your window, and you can use it for a few other things other than just a bag clip. Okay, so once that's dried, that's our clip here. Our charms are fairly straightforward and have their own clips as well. But to attach that to our clip, you will need to use the little silver ring that's in there, which is your jump ring. The one I've added in the kit has got a fair enough softness in it that you can open it and work it with your fingers. If you can't, if you just get yourself a pair of pliers, if you've got some around, or some of the dollar shops, the cheap shops will have them for about $2, or at the hardware store, and you can hold it on one side with your pliers and then use your fingers to pry it open. But thread your horsehair on, thread it onto the bottom of the clip, use your fingers and your pliers to push it back closed together. That's that bit done there. Grab your charms, clip them on wherever you would like to clip them on. And then you just have to work out how long you want it to be. In this case I might make it about that long, so I'll get my scissors, cut it off there, pop that aside, and our bag clip is done. Now if you've got a few loose bits around the edges that are sort of sticking out like this, rather than cutting them out, if you've got access to a hair straightener or an iron even on a low setting, you can put your hair straightener over the top of it a few times and then just straighten it out. Now if you are after the sort of long tapering look and you haven't used a mane or the end of a tail, you can, before you cut it off short like this, you can actually use your scissors and slowly work into the edges and into the hair to give it that tapered look. But that is your keyring and bag clip completed.